Fallout 3 has always been my favorite game in the franchise. Not because it was my first, like a lot of people's. It definitely was my first, but it's my favorite for other reasons. It's so barren and, like, unwelcoming. That's what I love about it. It genuinely feels like a wasteland. A capital wasteland. But, what if you wanted to bring back some hope to these crusty lands? What if you wanted to be reincarnated from the dead? That's what I've come to figure out, everybody, is if you can beat Fallout 3 as George Washington. As many stories start, I am born. I name myself George Washington, I just happened to cut out the footage, and I use the best of my abilities to try and make a convincing George Washington with this, 2008 character creator. My only question is, how did James not question why his kid has, like, permanently white hair? Like, this is premature graying at its finest. With my looks established, I get into my special stats. Now, this time around, I really don't have anything special. Fallout 3 really isn't like New Vegas like that. So, I just randomly selected them, and, well, that's the story. I skip my 10th birthday party and just get straight to hunting the Radroach. Now, I will allow myself to kill this Radroach. I will count this toy rifle as a toy musket, so to speak. Mostly because I hate how slow it is and how much damage it does. So, you can call me a cheater if you want, but that's what I'm gonna go with. That reminds me, I never explained the armor rules or the weapons for this challenge. Basically, there is no flintlock mod for Fallout 3, so I've allowed myself to use the regular hunting rifle. This makes it harder on me because I hate the hunting rifle in Fallout 3. I also downloaded a British military sword from the 1800s. Now, I know George Washington didn't live into the 1800s, but it's the closest thing I could find to something he would have used, kind of like the cutlass from last time. I downloaded a Full Metal Alchemist jacket mod, which kind of matches his coat that is in multiple paintings. With that, I failed the speech check to make Butch leave Amata alone, which I will admit is not very Washington-like. In one of the fistfights he got into, he was able to just talk down the guy that threw a punch. So, I do the unpresidential thing, and I just start beating them up. I then take the goat. Boy, that last question was hard. I knew I shouldn't have taken the AP classes. I then assigned my tag skills, which is melee weapons, small guns, and speech. Mostly because those are the only skills that I will use throughout this run. Maybe a bit of medicine here, maybe a bit of repair there, but that's really it. I then fade into the white light. During the assault on the vault, I just kind of help Butch's mother with the roach problem. And yes, I do use my fists here, but it's kind of something that all presidents come equipped with. So I will use this for just a slight bit as part of the run. With enough running, I eventually make it out of the vault, and I didn't really have to kill any human enemies. The first stop on my journey is Big Town, because that's where I can get my Full Metal Alchemist jacket. Now, the journey was mostly uneventful. Besides beating a couple vicious dogs to death with my fist, although I doubt that's something Washington would have done. He really loved dogs, he owned a lot of them in his life, although that's previously stated in my Can You Beat Fallout New Vegas as George Washington video. I highly suggest you like and subscribe, hit on that notification bell if you want to see more videos like this. I also been beginning to play Undertale and Deltarune on this channel. I highly suggest you check those out. Those are like my favorite videos I make on this. But these Fallout challenges are very, very fun. I find the coat, and I think it's just a repainted Colonel Autumn coat, but I really do enjoy the look on it. And it's got a 10 durability bonus, so might as well use it. I fast travel back to Megaton. I do plan on disarming the bomb because I passed the skill check with Lucas Sims to get 500 caps instead of 100. Plus, I really don't want to nuke the town because why would I nuke my own country, especially when I need so much of it. Do you ever know when you failed in life? That was me when I figured out I can't punch a centaur to death. A fucking centaur. They're like the weakest enemy in the game, and this one was thrashing me. So, it's obvious that I need to go to Underworld and get my sword, or find a hunting rifle within adequate time. In my quest for Underworld, I actually stopped by Rivet City, and accidentally sequence break the main quest. I've never done this before in any run, because I usually go the easy, straightforward path. But, we'll see what effects this has, because I haven't seen it before. In my quest for weapon, I stopped by Flak and Shrapnels, but I failed to realize something critical. I bought 308 rounds instead of 32 rounds because I'm used to Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4's version of ammo for the hunting rifle. This pissed me off beyond recognition when I first did this. But I decided to just suck it up and leave the store, because I still gotta, get to Underworld for my better weapon, because this hunting rifle sucks ass. Nothing of note happened while I was on the way to Underworld, except somehow I accidentally dropped my coat and took it off, and got murdered by the raiders in the tunnels, so that was really, really fun. With enough bullets in my ass to fill up a small light machine gun, I do eventually make it to Underworld, speak to Willow for no apparent reason, and I do enter the town. Only to realize that this bitch of a ghoul is selling my sword for 574 caps. That is insane for Fallout 3, when you can't even make 100 caps, let alone 500 in an easy time. So I just decided to steal it from her shop, which she had it on her wall. Now, don't worry, this is still not the worst thing that George Washington has ever done. I do go over to Galaxy News Radio, because at the time, I did not know that secrets breaking the main quest would not allow the Brotherhood to spawn, at least not Sarah Lyons and her group anyway. So, I was just getting murdered by supermutants with absolutely no help. I would get close to defeating the behemoth a few times, but then I would get cocky and try to pull out my sword and hit him, which he would send me to the great atom in the sky. With enough teamwork, me and the Brotherhood of Steel end up killing the behemoth. But I don't score the finishing blow, so of course they get all the experience and everything else. I do get what's off his body though, and for what hunting rifle ammo I used on him, I got no 32 ammo back basically. After that entire waste of time, I go back to Megaton and I disarm the bomb, because I really want that 500 caps. You know, I'm pretty broke at the point. Reward and dick in my hand, I go over by Tenpenny Tower to try to buy Sergeant RL3. However, I lack the karma requirement. Now you're probably wondering, why am I not going to be using dog meat this run? Well, that's kind of boring. I already used Rex last time. This is George Washington, not Caesar Milan. Plus, I feel a military man would also connect to George Washington's extensive time in the military, during the Revolutionary War, and other battles that he served in the British times. So, with that requirement in hand, I go over to Moriarty's terminal and just repeatedly interact with it. This is the fastest way to lose karma in an efficient manner in Fallout 3. Evil deeds and caps done with, I buy Sergeant RL3 off of Tinkerer Joe, and now I have my favorite companion in the game. I just wish you could talk to him like you could in Fallout New Vegas and onwards. I actually decide to do the main quest, where I get fucking murdered by a mole rat in Smith Casey's garage. I have never felt so disappointed in myself, not even when I was punching the centaur to death. Once in Tranquility Lane, I activate the Communist Protocol, which causes Chinese commandos just to start blowing all the neighbors away, children included. I talk to Betty, well, fake Betty, German doctor truly, and say that I'm calling the shots, and I finally leave with my dog father. Speaking of my dad, I do end up going to Project Purity with them. I did clear out the memorial earlier, but I left a majority of the super mutants there. And I shit my pants knowing, oh my god, they can open doors. So it's up to me to just shoot them. But RL3 does a majority of the work if I'm honest. Fecal matter cleaned out of my pants, I tell Dad and the scientists that it's pretty safe in there. Mostly safe if you walk over the dead bodies. Also, why does that asshole Jefferson get a memorial? Meanwhile, mine's completely destroyed. His is perfectly intact besides the mutant problem. Jesus. No respect for the first president, the maker of this nation. Speaking of this nation, I skip over the boring shit that Dad makes me do for Project Purity, and I meet the fake government for the first time. The knockoff Brotherhood are nothing against my sword. Literally nothing. I keep stunning them and knocking their weapons out of their hands. Their HP just goes down like me cutting through butter with a hot knife. I talked to my dying father through the bulkhead for one of the first times. I didn't even know you could do this till I watched an old Mitten Squad video. Rest in peace, my man. But yeah, my dad's insides are probably like a gusher on a hot summer day left in a car. Talking to him also seems to reset the cutscene, and I can also search Colonel Autumn's body, which is the only way you can get this unique pistol he carries only during this part of the game. Nothing interesting happened in the Taft tunnels besides for the first time I convinced Dr. Lee to leave Garza behind. I actually feel bad, but it's not my fault I don't have any stim packs or anything for him. Making it into the Citadel and technically meeting the Brotherhood for the first time, I get Vault 87's location, and I gotta go get the Gek. Fast traveling back to Smith Casey's garage, I find these weird Talon Company / Hitman people called Hunters. I can only assume they're like the people that Mr. Burke sends after you disarm the bomb in Megaton, but I have never encountered them before in any Fallout 3 playthrough. I eventually stop fucking around and make it to Little Lamplight. I do convince the mayor to let me in, on the account that I'll see him at a later date, possibly maybe 20 years in the future. I enter Murder Pass, and I think I made it out just fine, although I'm not going to be the one to tell you that. Take it away, Casual Loop.
Look, if our dear president says he made it by just fine, he actually means that he got fucking murdered by Shrek's more handsome cousins. And it wasn't just one time, he got absolutely demolished. After retrieving the Gak using Fox's radiation sponge, he gets captured by the fake government trying to escape. I guess those grenades have some high-ass range. Being naked and afraid, he tells Colonel Autumn the fake code and then gets released by the fake president. He makes it pretty far in and doesn't die for once. Once faced to monitor with the fraud, he tells him to commit die and unplug his power supply. The stupid machine does so with no question and lights Raven Rock and everyone in it up. Speaking of stupid machines, Sergeant RL3 was nowhere to be found, and never to be found again.
Where is he? Where is
RL3?
He fired Fox and made haste to the Citadel to reclaim this land from the fake government. So he hands over the vial and then tells Sarah to shove the armor right up her ass. Then it's just a simple march to the Purifier with the world's most patriotic robot. On the walk to the Jefferson Memorial, we witness the flying It Just Works laser rifle. The Enclave soldiers did end up being an issue in the memorial, basically turning the president into the world's most laser-burnt Swiss cheese. Eventually, he makes it to the Purifier, talks the colonel down into leaving America and to go harass Canada, which I guess would still be the USA in Fallout, and then this weird glitch popped up. He tries to get a cool third-person shot when entering the Purifier, but ends up getting stuck in the camera and the keypad gets all fucked up. So, he melts his insides, dies, and retries again, which caused clean water to flow through the Capitol wasteland and supply it with clean drinking water. Who knows, maybe we can rebuild the White House. And with that, this nerdly courier proved you can beat Fallout 3 as George Washington.
Thank you, everybody, for watching this, and special thanks to Casual Loop for even agreeing to collab with me on this. And I really appreciate everybody watching this. Give me some suggestions in the comments if you have any other challenges or things I should do on this channel. With that, I'm the Nerdly Courier, and this was Fallout 3.